I'm not sure if I should have more Bosnian flag, less Bosnian flag, more map. Woo! Yes! Kawhi! Playoff Kawhi! Hi all. Welcome to the Impatient Tourist YouTube channel. Pardon my recent excitement. The Raptors are doing well. I can't really be held, accountable for my actions. So I wanted to do something for me taking this seriously now. And I want the topic to be something that is relatable and important to a lot of people. So I figure if there's one thing that's an essential part of my traveling is me traveling solo. Something I do very, very much and have done to many of these countries and whatnot, especially over here and over here, So I wanted to make sure that I would give some of the tips I have for staying safe while traveling, not getting robbed, not getting scammed, things of that nature. Things that are transferable to other people, doesn't matter, male or female. I think they'd be really useful for a lot of people. Raptors won, so I had to change. I wanted to look, fresh as hell for the rest of this YouTube video. Before I get into anything, subscribe. I promise I'm funny. Maybe this won't be the time I'm funny. Maybe I don't make a first impression. But eventually, I promise, I might be funny. Or I might give you some good information. Just saying, go subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's start with number one. The most important thing I do when I go travel alone is send my friends and family a complete list of everywhere I'm about to be, what time I land, address, activities, contact information for those hotels or Airbnbs. At all times during all my trips, my family and friends will know exactly where I'm located. Here's an example of what one of these lists look like. I was just in Europe in December. I did 8 countries in 12 days, so it was really hectic. But at all times, my friends and family knew where I was, so heaven forbid, if something happened, they could find me. Tip number 2. Always, always, always have a plan on how you're going to get from the airport to your Airbnb, hostel, hotel, commune, wherever the hell you're staying. Have that in your head and ingrained and planned out. I'd say the first option is Uber. That's my option. The nice thing is if you land really late at night and maybe aren't comfortable taking the transit system, at least you'll know who's driving you, how much it's going to cost, and you can send the whole follow my ride thing to your friends and family back home, although they might be, 5-6 time zones away. At least you feel that sense of security, someone's with you in that ride. I should also reiterate the whole knowing how much you're going to pay thing, as someone who took a cab very late at night in Rome from the airport, and the meter did some real funny business in that taxi. Trust me, you're going to want to know how much that ride's going to cost and that you're going to get to your destination safely. I realize using an Uber from the airport might not be the most cost-effective thing if you're trying to do a budget trip. So learn the transit system before you get there. In places like Zurich, Switzerland, and in Singapore, super straightforward, super fast. Might cost a little bit more, but you know what? You're going to get to your destination in a safe space, in a clean space, and pretty fast. So definitely consider transit. One of the things I've had the best luck with is actually pre-arranging my pickup from the airport. So I'll go online like I did for Bali. I read that Uber was illegal, so I wasn't really trying to test that. And I had a driver already waiting there for me, sign. I was like, that's me. I feel special. Or if you are staying in an Airbnb, a good tip, contact your host. Sometimes they'll just offer to pick you up for a very small fee. And if they're hosting your place, they definitely know where you have to go. Tip number 3. Don't draw attention to yourself. I have seen so many horrible examples of this. I was just in Prague, and there was these 2 dudes walking around with their big red I love Canada like sweaters, and I'm just like, you want to be pickpocketed. You're making a sign that says, hi, hello, pickpocket me. I have money. Let me make it clear. No one deserves to be robbed of their belongings, okay? And I completely understand not everyone can look like they fit in to their surroundings or whatever country they're, visiting. That's not a concept I'm obtuse to. Make that very clear, first of all. Between the massive signs of I'm not from here, or people wearing expensive jewelry outside, why? On top of it, then you have these people with their iPad out, like, oh, let me get this shot, honey. Oh, let me get this shot. Or the people with their like big physical map. You know it's 2019, right? Big 2019, right? Okay. I understand not everyone's tech savvy, but you can just look at stuff on Google Maps and download it now onto your phone, right? Using it offline is just, I'm trying to make sure you guys avoid being like a big, just gaudy target for people to, heaven forbid, pickpocket you, or you're the person who goes to a market, ends up paying full price for things, or even more, because you drew that much attention to the fact that you're that much of a tourist. You're such a clown. Why would you do that? Okay, tip number 4. Protect your stuff. We always have to protect our bodies, but definitely, you need to protect your stuff. When I talk about protecting your stuff while traveling, I'm talking about this. It's the most important thing you're going to have on you while you're traveling. Always keep a scanned copy of it in your Google Drive or whatever you use, or keep a printed photocopy of it in your luggage. I personally don't ever leave my passport in anywhere I go. When I'm traveling, my passport stays on my body, some part of my body. So if you want my passport, you're going to have to get it off of me. So now it's you versus 220 pounds of solid-ish chavapi. Come get it, man. Come get it. I'm not giving it up. Most important thing to me when I travel is that damn passport. I guess aside from your passport, money, your cards, foreign currency and cash. You know where I keep all that stuff? You see this bag? This is where I put my used filthy things like socks and underwear. And that's where I put the money in the cards. Let me tell you, if people are going to rummage through your things, this is not the bag they want to open. Oh, they might open it, but trust me, after, 6-7 days somewhere hot and you sweating, this, great place to hide things, okay? Also, when you're out and about with your money, I personally like to wear a fanny pack that's as close to my chest as possible. No backpacks that can be open from the back, or you're putting your bag that way. They're going to take your money. Also, I recently found this infinity scarf, but it has a pocket inside of it, so you can keep your money there, and you could just be walking around, and no one would know that you have money in your scarf. Tip number 5. I understand this might be common sense, but I can't reiterate enough. Always trust your gut when you're traveling solo. The one thing about traveling alone is you get a lot of time to think about yourself and your life at home and just things in general. Traveling alone makes you reflect a lot. And in that, you'll figure out that you have a pretty good sense of self, and that your gut is a good indicator of what you should and should not be doing. If something seems too good to be true, don't do it. If someone is even a little off, probably shouldn't go out with them. Use the same discretions that you would, at home, but maybe heighten them a bit more because you're on vacation, you're alone. You might be a target for things just because you're traveling alone, and that's male or female. You really just never know. So always trust your gut about situations and people when traveling alone. I'm done. I got through it. We got through it together. I really hope some of these tips helped you in your future solo travel endeavors, or just helped you, with planning solo travel. Maybe you weren't thinking of doing it and now you're like, maybe I can. If you want to leave in the comments ideas of what you do to stay safe when you travel solo, please do so. Remember to subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope I will make more of these. And remember to stay impatient.